So we are testing right now, and we go with the, let's say, real voice, okay?
The real voice.
Yeah.
Not this voice.
No, 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 no. Exactly. Yeah. Hey everybody, welcome to the YouTube channel. It's Amir. Today we have a very, very special guest, Per Hulkoff from Hulkoff, Robert here,
And Scythikon and also Bourbon Boys.
okay, these are the new side projects, I think.
Yeah,
or-
it's kind of a side project. It's a fun thing, since I grew up with that 90s groove metal, I wanted to do something.
Yeah.
The time is not really there, but, every now and then we have the time to finish a track. So
Okay. Okay.
that's how it is.
I should hear more about those side projects as well, because for Robert here and for sure Hulkoff I heard before, but this is the newest stuff, I assume.
Yeah, this is the newest
Yeah.
stuff. Bourbon Boys have been around since I was in school.
Okay.
It's a country band. From the start, it was just a joke thing. We wanted to.
It's a country band.
It's a country band,
God.
100%. U.S. country stuff.
Okay.
Nowadays, it's mainly because I really enjoy that chicken picking.
Uh-huh.
That twangy style of playing Telecaster. It's it's pretty advanced stuff.
Okay.
You know.
Jump from the 8 strings, 7 strings on the chicken picking Telecaster.
Oh yeah, I do. But I've been playing the telly for a long, long time, and of course I started with a 6-string once upon a time.
Okay.
The reason why we have that band is when I was still in school, I started Bourbon Boys to have a band that you could, so you could play the songs live while drinking beer.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, with time the beer disappeared, but the music stayed. So.
So you can just at least play the music, let's say, on stage.
But I love country music because it's rooted in folk, and there's an old tradition, and I really, really, I enjoy listening to it, and it's fun playing.
That is fun. That is for sure fun. Country music is fun, always.
Yeah, it's fun.
There.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's a good vibe, and there's also, when you listen to the real stuff, the real down and dirty country music,
Yeah.
there is a lot of raw honesty in there.
Yeah.
And I always appreciate that.
Yeah, it feels really natural, I can say.
Yes,
compared to the other stuff. Yeah,
exactly.
It's really unearthly music. It's not that much technology thing around it. Let's say it's really natural and raw sounding. Yeah.
Exactly, and that earthy thing. It's interesting that you mention it because that's something I've been talking about for decades. I'm really after that earth tone.
Yeah.
That I think that music is a reflection of us. And we are a reflection of the environment that we dwell in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we really have to kind of suck that vibe in, and try to make something out of that.
Yeah. To get the 100% purity out of it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I mean, it's another side of the discussion that these days. Maybe you see that this is more copy pasting stuff between the artists and musicians, or let's say, as we discussed before the shooting, the repeating and repeating.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that also, we were also talking about inflation, and I think that metal music today has reached a point of inflation. There is like this Euro standard on how metal music is supposed to sound. You have that sound replacer for the drum kit. Everybody uses the same kind of plugins for everything, and you just tune the living shit out of everything you record, and you make it sound as streamlined and computerized as is humanly possible.
Yeah.
And when you do that, you kill the soul. And music without soul is just, what is that?
Yeah.
It's nothing. It's AI, It's so...
AI, and that's I think in a scale of 5 years or something more, the AI will show another side of the, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I will not get started on that because there are things that annoys me a lot, and AI is one of those.
Yeah.
Because I mean, that music that we hear, the AI music that people say, oh, listen to this, is so great, this AI. Oh yeah, but it's a Xerox machine,
Yeah.
It copies everything and mashes it up and says, yeah, here's something new. No, that's not new. That's something else.
Yeah, I think if I'm not wrong, the system is like that. They start the things that have been produced already by human being,
Hmm.
and the machine, or let's say system, try to reproduce everything again out of
Of
the
course.
thing. Yeah. So I mean, that's not a new thing. Let's
No,
say
no.
let's copy paste or repeating again. Let's say.
But I mean, this idea that the machines are taking over and that we are second to the computer when it comes to creativity. That's just nonsense, because
Mm.
it all comes down to one thing: a human has to hear it. A human has to decide whether it's art or not.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know,
At the end.
at the end.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So the machine becomes pretty irrelevant. Honestly, I think. I mean, computers have made
Correct.
life easier for us in many ways. I mean, we can do this stuff,
Mm.
and we have our home studios, and we can do all that, and that's all good, because it makes our creativity flow easier. But we have to keep that balance all the time, because
Yeah. I mean, at the end, it's human to draw the line that it
I
is.
think so. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
absolutely.
and that is absolutely correct, 100% approach to me as well. Yeah, yeah, you're right. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we shouldn't leave it to the machine to do everything. I mean, right now, people, I think they're doing emails and stuff like that, everything on this kind of AI thing, and that is a bit, I don't know, but maybe soon we need to have a sort of revolution against of AI things
Yeah,
like
I
this.
think so too. There is
Yeah.
also a great danger when you quit reading, when you quit writing, and
Mm.
you leave that to a machine. What
Yeah,
is
yeah,
happening to your mind? You are closing it down. And when you close your mind,
yeah.
you are no longer a thinking entity. I mean, you are something else. And I really don't think it's a good way for humanity to walk.
I think at a certain point, it's like other stuff in technology. We don't know. I mean, this is just a guess, or let's say assumption.
Hmm.
But the era that a home studio tried to get it started, it was different compared to the real professional studios with those
Yeah.
kind of racks, and the sound, of course, is still it is the sound inside the studio, it's much more warmer and better and more unique and pure compared to the probably home studios.
I am.
But I think by the time this stuff found its own balance, let's say,
Hmm.
for instance, I see that right now lots of bands and musicians, they have their own home studios. They try to do the demos, or they try to do lots of brainstorming on their own home studios, and when they understand that okay, it's worth to do something serious, they jump into the pro studios. They try to gather those kind of budget, let's say, to oh, we need to go to the studio,
Hmm.
do this kind of stuff. I hope this goes with AI somewhere like that people find the balance somewhat, because at this stage it's like more consuming, and
Oh yeah.
it doesn't go.
But it's also at this stage, at this point, there is a lot of hype behind this. In all honesty,
Mm,
there's no creativity in it. So,
no, no.
and yeah, for a while I was a little bit worried about that, but I understand now that
Yeah,
it's really not a replacement.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, let's see how it goes in the future. Maybe we see
Yeah,
some.
we'll see. I might be completely wrong. I have been wrong before,
Nobody knows. But okay, I wanna go around with some other stuff. First of all, thank you so much for having this opportunity to meet you. It's an honor. So the album came out. It's amazing. What's going on? The summer is here. What is the plan for the future right now? Do you think?
Well, first off, the honor is mine. I appreciate it a lot,
Thank you.
brother, that you take the time to do this stuff. And yeah, the summer is on, but we are not playing any festivals this
Okay.
summer, and we are not touring at all this year, honestly,
Okay.
because moose hunting season starts in September, and it's always a priority. No, I'm joking. The thing is that we have this pretty intense touring schedule
Okay.
coming up next year,
Uh huh.
so we're gonna cover all the ground next year.
The
That's
whole, the whole, it's within the Nordics or only Sweden or
Well, so far it's only Scandinavia,
okay,
and
okay,
I don't know what will happen on top of that. We have to wait and see a little bit.
Okay. Okay.
But that's how it is now. So this summer I'm just playing a few festivals with Bourbon boys. We're
Okay.
playing some country music again.
Okay. But with Hulkoff is going to be next year.
Yeah, it's gonna be next
So
year.
next year, 2027. Just write it down and record it. Okay.
Oh yeah.
And it's where is the start point? I think it's Bourbon or
No, we start in Kiruna.
Kiruna. Okay.
And then we're playing Bourbon, and then we
Okay.
go south.
Okay. Okay. But the first start point is Kiruna.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Those are the two super important dates,
Yeah.
Kiruna and Bourbon.
Yeah.
Still in Norrbotten.
Yeah. That's Nordic. Yeah. That's of course. That's cool. But I mean, you talked about some stuff from high school and this country band. I just want to go with a little bit of flashback. How it started for you in life to come to the music. I mean, I'm not talking about the metal music. Maybe that's the next thing we want to talk. But how it started that you get interested about the music or playing instruments. When you think that happened for you?
That's a very interesting question, and I actually think about this from time to time myself, because I don't really remember, to be quite honest. But I know that me and my brother, we were watching some guys playing electric guitars on TV. We had never seen an electric guitar, and things were a lot different in this area in the 80s than they are today. I can tell you that. There were no internet, and there was only a few state channels, and we were not in touch with music that much at a really young age. But when I saw that guitar and when we heard some of the old rock music, I was just drawn to it, and I couldn't resist, and I had to do it. And then when I think I was 9, when I borrowed a guitar from a guy in my father's moose hunting club, and I started trying to figure stuff out. And there was this music program in school that you could, you had like 20 minutes per week where you could learn to play some really weird guitar stuff, I started from there, and then I just increased, I kept playing. But
and which year we are talking that you borrowed the guitar? It was
that's 89.
89.
89, okay. I believe.
Okay.
So that's when I really started trying to figure stuff out, but I had no clue what I was doing, of course.
Okay.
It took a little while. And there was no YouTube, you couldn't see anybody show you how to do it. So what I did was I listened to music and I tried to play it myself. And then there was this guy who showed me a few chords, and how to do that. And that was really the start of it all. And I started to figure out how songs were structured, how it works, chord progressions and whatever. But didn't happen like that.
Yeah.
Takes a lot of work. Everybody who plays knows that it takes a lot of hours.
But the guitar that you saw at the first time, or the genre of the thing that you saw, was it rock, metal, country? Do you remember?
I remember that it was a Strat.
Strat. Okay.
Yeah, it was a
Okay,
Stratocaster.
Okay.
And my first real guitar hero was Ritchie Blackmore.
Oh.
Yeah, because we got a Deep Purple, this anthology vinyl collection from a friend of my father's, and we were listening to that all the time. All the time. Pictures of Home is still one of my absolute favorite songs ever. Of course, being a young kid trying to play like Ritchie Blackmore and having no clue what I was doing, it took a little while before I figured stuff out.
But the roots started with the, let's say, Ritchie Blackmore, or let's say the rock thing. Yeah.
Absolutely. Deep Purple was the first. And then, I heard, of course, we heard Black Sabbath and we heard Led Zeppelin and we heard all those old giants. Later on, Judas Priest.
Oh.
But what really, really got me hooked into the harder metal, that was Venom.
Venom.
I heard that band, it was like putting your head in a concrete mixer, and it was awesome. So that was, thrash metal has always been a real source of inspiration for me.
Oh yeah.
I know I always piss a lot of people off with the fast songs, but I can't live without them. There's just something that resonates with my soul when it's the high beat. Maybe it's because we're so close to Finland, and I grew up with that fast-paced 2/4 polka beat music.
But okay, so let's say that was the sort of a start. But I think you pointed out right now, maybe thrash metal, Judas
Mhm.
Priest, or Venom. I think
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was the time that you jump into the metal, and or you say, I need to do it like that, or
Well, I mean,
need to go heavy, or
yeah, but I think I heard Venom when I was maybe 12, 13. Before that, we were playing some AC/DC stuff and all that.
okay,
So I mean, the hard rock was always there because uh, I like the attitude. I like the volume. I like
mm,
to
the
really
vibe,
the
yeah,
vibe.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's it. So before I heard Venom, I have to mention that I heard Motorhead, of course.
Okay,
And that really made a difference. No Sleep Till Hammersmith. That's also one of my all-time favorite albums
okay.
because that's the way a live rock band should sound.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. There are no backtracks. There are no bullshit. It's just full tilt.
Straight,
Yeah,
natural, to the
yeah.
roots. Yeah,
Exactly,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah. So afterwards, I mean, out of this, let's say, harder stuff, I think that guitar playing or those kind of things became more serious to you
Yes,
to
yes, of
start the,
course.
let's say, serious recording with the bands and the stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. I actually heard a demo that Tubbe Englund, who plays the lead guitar in Sabaton today.
Yeah.
Me and him, we had a band together back then.
Okay.
Yeah, and there is this demo tape that I heard that we recorded when we were 14, and I was actually a bit amazed that it sounded so good because '94 in Haparanda, um, it was not super common, to have a band that sounded like something at all.
Uh-huh.
So it was, yeah, I was a little bit surprised that it was that good, and not to brag or anything. It's just that
Yeah. You just recorded two line of guitars, or was it the
no,
vocal
no,
guitar?
but at the time we were switching instruments all the time, and I think Tubbe was playing bass at that recording,
Uh-huh.
and
Okay.
so yeah. But I mean, you can really feel the vibe of guys who wanted to go somewhere. There is attitude and there is hunger, and of course a
Yeah.
lot of sentimentality because I'm 40 plus, so you get to be sentimental.
Yeah. Yeah, 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 I know. But I mean, the feeling that, I mean, you were driven, or you had a goal that you had to
Yeah,
hunger to
exactly,
follow that. Yeah.
exactly. And if you look at it today, things kind of fell into place, and we wound up where we wanted to be. Both
Yeah,
me
yeah.
and Tubbe, and I'm super happy for him because he's a very very good guitarist and musician.
Let's jump back to this Hulkoff, and
Hmm.
let's jump back to this new record. First of all, congrats! This latest release was amazing. At least for myself. I mean, I'm talking behalf of myself here. But I think it was 4 or 5 weeks ago that it came out, if I'm not wrong.
It
About
should
a
be
month.
something like
Yeah,
that.
something like that. Uh, but one thing that I wanna I think this is also the point that some people ask you already. How this idea of doing one side Swedish, one side English, how it came to your mind, and how you dealt with that. That was really fun. I
Hmm.
think
Yeah, well, those who have been around for a while, first off, thank you for the compliment. Of course, I'm super happy that you liked the album.
it was amazing.
But this concept of having two languages on the album, it's really not. This is not the first time. The first Hullkoff album I made was the one called Gwen, and that was in English only.
Okay.
Then I did the second one, and this was before the COVID-19 lockdowns and all that stuff. The one called Panzerfolk, and it was so, you know, um, that's when I really started delving into this old tonality and all that stuff, and
Mm,
it feels so completely connected to the Swedish language for
okay.
me. So it had to be in Swedish, and then with a few discussions here and there, and all the people in non-Swedish speaking countries who want to understand what I'm singing about.
Ah.
I decided to translate it, like they do with the operas or the musicals or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's a lot of work
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's a lot of compromising, of course. But
But
hey,
the
yeah,
intention I mean, the root intention for you was to do it on Swedish. I think the Hulkoff project,
yeah.
or yeah,
Well, not from the start.
not from the start.
Not from the
Okay.
start. It was not because I
Uh,
was running this parallel with Raubtier, and
uh
I wanted to separate it a bit by doing the lyrics in English.
Okay.
And also, there's this historical connection. I thought, that people wanted to understand it even outside of Scandinavia, But I don't know about intention I'm not so sure there was too much intention, really, to be honest. I think
Okay.
there was a lot of feel thing from the start.
Okay. Okay.
And that's just how it came out, like sort of like kind of like the Scythikon thing today. It's like a tribute to all the things that inspired me in my life.
Uh-huh. So
I've-
that's the way that you start writing lyrics, I think. That I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, if I understood correctly, it's not like that you focus that I need to write it on Swedish, I need to write it on English. It's a matter of inspiration.
That's correct,
Uh-huh.
100%. And a lot of people ask me, what comes first, Swedish or English? Well, sometimes it's Swedish and then I translate it to English.
Uh-huh.
But
Okay.
sometimes you get this idea for a hook or an earworm or whatever, and then what language it is,
Yeah.
can be whatever. Sometimes it's old ancient Gothic, or Old Norse or Finnish even. And then from that, something else comes out,
Mm-hmm.
So it's really hard to say. I don't necessarily think that the language is the most important thing.
Okay.
The feeling is number one. And then I try to write lyrics that mean something, in the end.
That's really nice because I mean you're not going around with the sort of a specific structure. You keep yourself free even in terms of the language as well.
Yeah, I do.
And you jump straight to the context
Mhm.
or let's say concept that I want to talk about this concept. It doesn't matter on which let's say language, but let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, music is a universal language,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Of course.
Isn't music a very, very interesting thing, my friend?
Yeah.
Nobody can explain what it is,
No.
and still it moves us all.
Yeah.
Kind of like water.
Exactly. Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
And I think there is really no point in trying to limit yourself in any way by saying, "Oh, I'm just gonna sing in Swedish. I'm just gonna sing in English or whatever." Why?
Hmm.
What's here is what matters, and it needs to come out the way it comes out.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
You should keep it free, not
Yeah, exactly.
not put it inside the barricade or
No,
something
no.
like that. Yeah.
Because, but it's a very, very human thing to do,
Yeah.
to box everything up. That's how it is, because somebody slaps that label on you, and that
Yeah.
label will follow you wherever you go for your
Yeah.
whole life for some weird reason, because that's how humans function. And sometimes I feel that it's a bit,
Yeah.
how should I put it, a little bit disturbing.
Yeah.
Because I mean, what kind of genre is Beethoven, for example?
Yeah.
It's classical music. Okay, what is that?
Yeah.
Can somebody please explain to me what is that? Symphonic music. Yeah, but everything is not symphonic that he does.
Okay, so in terms of the lyrics, that was really fun to me. That you don't aim straight for the type of language. You go with the concept and you go with the
Yeah.
context. That is really pure, let's say, in terms of songwriting. But this amazing intro on Jotunheim.
Mhm.
Okay, how it started, how you came with that idea? Because this is one thing that I mean, I try to come back and listen to this album again and again and again. That's one of the reasons was because of this intro.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, it's absolutely different compared to the let's say main song when it starts with the riff and those stuff like
Mhm.
that. But how it happened with that intro? Was it I mean with the roots of Swedish or was it?
Yeah, of course. It has a really, really strong Scandinavian ring to it, or not only Scandinavian, but maybe pretty particularly Swedish ring
Oh,
to the tonality there, and the way you play the violin with the open strings and that kind of stuff, really kind of drony music. And the whole idea was, when I started, I talked about this to my fans just a few days ago about how it came to be, because the idea was the whole concept. Jotunheim is the home of the giants,
yeah.
and Sweden is also a home of giants, because we have Meshuggah, we have Yngwie Malmsteen, and we have ABBA.
Aha.
And these three combined, we have and also, of course, as a little spice on top, you have to add the Swedish folk music. So we have Swedish folk music over a disco beat, and then comes a polymetric guitar riff
Oh.
together with a shred solo. So that's
Okay.
all those four components in one
Yeah.
song.
So
That's how I sort of went about.
But Per, you wrote the intro on the guitar, or you wrote it on the synth, or on that
No, no, no,
instrument
on my violin.
on the violin.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. And when we are talking violin, is that the instrument that we saw on your show, the violin from Nordics, or is this the violin that you
Well,
use?
I use I use a violin. It's right there.
Uh,
This one is from 1890, something like that. It's a German Steiner copy, nothing expensive or anything, but I like the sound of it. And
okay.
I like the look, and I like the feel, and I like everything about it, and it makes me feel like in my mind I'm Niccolo Paganini every time.
Okay.
That's not what people hear, but that's what I hear.
That's good. You're happy with that. I have that kind of feeling, so let's
Yeah,
go
yeah,
with
yeah, yeah.
it.
Well, you know what it's like when you
Yeah,
float
yeah,
away and
yeah,
all that stuff. But then I build these old Viking type instruments that is called the tall harpa. In English, it's the horsehair lyre.
What is on Swedish? Tall
Tall
harp.
harpa. That
Tall
means
harpa.
tagel harpa. Tagel is the name of the horsehair.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
the strings are made from horsehair, and it's really just a sound box with a couple of strings on it, and you tune it in fifths or fourths, and you play it with a drone all the time,
Okay.
and get this special. It's a really special, really
Yeah.
wild and untamable sound, that comes out of it.
Was this the one that you have it on the show that and you put it on the front and you play it like this? Is that one or
No, that's not the one. You are talking about the nyckelharpa, which is
no?
another old Swedish
Okay.
instrument. There are a lot of old Swedish
Okay.
instruments.
Okay.
Much like in your folk tradition in Iran, there
Yeah.
are a lot of
Yeah.
different instruments.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
These are rarely seen these days in popular music, but they sound very special, and they sound very, very old and true.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, the sound, it sounds like from heaven, I can say. When we saw first time on the show, I mean, you're supposed to see the metal show with tough riffs and I mean, fast speed through and through.
Hmm.
But when you hear that sound, oh my God, what is this?
Hmm.
This is different, and
Yeah,
it fits to the context.
yeah, it does. But I think metal is just another type of framing around the music. I mean, we could just as well use a symphony orchestra instead.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, I don't think that.
That is good definition. It's
Yeah,
it's a frame. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It is a frame, and I mean, we both like the loudness, and the power and all that.
Yeah.
You get that from a symphony orchestra as
Yeah,
well. But there is something else. There is a.
To have a tight sound, sometimes you get it from orchestra or
Oh
folk
yeah.
music as well.
Oh yes, yes,
To be
yes.
really tight or sometimes really punchy.
But in the end, when it all boils down to the last component, it's
Uh,
just music.
yeah, yeah,
I know the metal crowd is special, but I also think that the metal crowd is the most open-minded crowd of them all.
yeah. I agree. Yeah,
If you play metal music to the classical fans, they do, "Ah," and those who enjoy popular music like this disco pop or whatever, they can't stand the sound of heavy metal for
yeah,
some
yeah,
weird reason.
yeah, 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 yeah. That is true. That is
But I
absolutely
mean,
true.
when we listen to metal today, we have all kinds of influences from every kind of music style there is.
Yeah, I mean, right now, I mean with this with the modern genre specifically, you see right now, the kicks and snares. I mean, they don't have a sound of really super unique. You understand there are lots of mixing and
Hmm.
stuff around those sounds, or sometimes they try to uh, somehow combine the sound with the vibe of trap or with the vibe of disco techno
Oh
or
yeah, yeah,
something
yeah.
like that. It sounds good sometimes. I mean,
Hmm.
it sounds really nice, and as long as it's fun to listen to it, it's fun to listen to it. Let's say,
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah. If you enjoy it, you enjoy it. You get the vibe.
Yeah, but if you take Raubtier for example, it was a crossover from day one. But
Hmm.
the classical influence in my music has always been a really, really big part.
Okay.
The only thing I did is that I traded the violins for keyboards, so a lot
Uh-huh.
easier to play, and a lot
Yeah, yeah,
easier to,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely,
But
absolutely.
but
Yeah.
but the compromising days are over now, and I prefer live instruments today. Although it takes a lot more time and a lot more effort
Yeah.
in every way, especially when you start working with horsehair, because it's pretty hard to get them in tune.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does it have a sort of chrome tuning as we talked, or stuff like
Yeah,
that?
well,
I think.
it's an untempered instrument. It's just
Okay.
like a violin, or maybe closer to the Mongolian, the Morinkhur, if you heard of that one.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
it's just
Yeah, I mean, for the recording and stuff like that, you're really right. I mean, you need to put the instrument really tight, solid in terms of the tuning,
yeah.
and it's been a 1 hour. Sometimes you come with the idea during the recording, you have to come back, retune it again. Is this the same tuning, or yeah?
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
recording is the same as never quitting your tuning session.
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, it can be. And when you use these instruments, I mean, these really old and wild instruments, it can really, it can be quite a stressful experience from
Yeah.
time to time, when you feel like this is going to be nothing. But then somehow, in the end, it turns out to be something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I mean, I can imagine the effort that you have to put for the recording and during the production, because right now, uh, let's say for the guitar recording, I'm talking about riffing on
Hmm.
full distortion with the noise gate. When you do lots of those stuff during the recording, you have to check and recheck your tuning a lot.
All the time.
Imagine you come back and you want to do it for the folk instrument. That is really time consuming.
Yeah, it is.
And the project won't be like this, because you want to put your idea, you want to, that is really
Yeah,
fantastic.
exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, this idea that making an album is something that is done quickly, that's just not gonna happen.
No. Yeah.
If you make it quickly, it will not be an album. It will be something else. It takes a lot of work, a lot of processing, a lot of arranging, a lot of thought process.
Yeah.
And I'm not counting all the time that the actual songwriting, the composition, the lyric writing, all that stuff, that
Okay.
put aside, the actual production of the album is very time consuming,
Yeah.
and it sometimes almost drives me insane, to be honest.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean,
But you know the drill. You do it yourself.
It is what it is. You don't count the time. You just
No,
start
you don't.
to just touch the climax. Oh, that's the thing that I want. That's the thing that I want to follow.
Yeah.
But for instance, for the latest album, when you started, how long does it take? Because the production
this
time.
latest one was this was actually the hardest album I have ever done, in so many ways. Not musically, not songwriting wise or anything like that. It's just the circumstances around in life were pretty demanding, and a lot of bad stuff happened that took a lot of time. Okay. So it was constantly pushed back and constantly delayed, and I was so stressed about it. So when it finally came out, it was like a big rock rolled off my shoulders, and I'm just super happy that it finally saw the light of day.
We are happy as well. Super happy.
Yeah, that makes me glad. But I feel that one of the most important things in life is closure. If you have an unfinished project weighing you down, stress is gonna be all consuming.
Yeah.
So just to finish something is so important.
Yeah.
That's something that I've
that
come
is
to
really
realize.
Crucial. I mean, you started progress. Until that is unfinished, something is killing you. Something is bothering.
Yeah, exactly.
The closure is really crucial milestone.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And I mean, at least for a musician as well, because you have it in your mind. The idea started to somehow at a certain point release it to be in a full song, let's say.
Oh yeah.
And when it's not released, when it's not out, I mean, as you said, it's really bothering. It's okay.
Yeah, it is.
But that's good that this album came. I mean,
yeah.
At least, yeah. I think from this one up to previous one, it was 3 or 4 years in between.
Oh, was the something gap? Like. Let me think a little bit. I've done this for a long time now, and when people ask me what year was that, yeah, well, I don't really remember.
That's the thing like that we are not doing that. Musicians are not into that.
No, I'm really bad at remembering dates and remembering years and stuff like that. It's somewhere pretty far back in.
Yeah. But you have this feeling that there was a slight gap in between.
There was a slight gap.
A slight gap.
And yeah, this took a lot longer than I had planned from the start.
Yeah.
Because if you look at when the first single came out, we were supposed to have the album done by Christmas, but that didn't happen. Because of circumstances that were out of my control.
Yeah.
And sometimes life just comes knocking, and it knocks pretty hard, and it knocks the living shit out of you, and you have to.
Yeah, and that's life.
That is life.
It is what it is. Yeah. I see that in terms of the guitar playing. Let's talk about the guitar a little bit more here. So in terms of the guitar playing, I feel that I think you're using the 7 or 8 string instrument.
That's correct.
Yeah. So when it comes to the sound and riffing, you go through amp, you go through, let's say, DI, or how you prefer it for the final record. For the live show, that's different. But
but I prefer it like we did in '94.
94.
Yeah,
okay.
I love my Marshall valve state.
Amazing.
Yeah, so I use a stack, and I put a microphone up there and I record it.
Okay.
And it actually sounds
amazing.
Yeah, I love the sound, you know.
So you go straight, or you go on the units or noise gate and stuff like that?
I have a booster, a booster and a noise gate, and then into the head, and then into the cabinet.
Okay.
That's how it is. And I have the cabinet in a separate studio room that I've built, you know, where I have one Shure SM57 like we did back in the day.
Okay.
And I recorded pretty close to the top of the cabinet.
But you put it one mic and you just record one line, and you do another line and make it left and right and stuff like that.
I saw that Ola was talking about quad tracking guitars.
Yeah, that video was really fun.
It was pretty interesting because the first time I quad tracked a guitar was back in 2001, I think.
Okay.
And there was this guy, I was in Belgium at the time, and there was this guy who told me, let's try this to get a little more beef into the
ambient,
sound.
Okay.
Yeah. And that was mind blowing. So
but
after that,
you pan all of them to the right and left too?
But when I came back to Sweden, I started doing that, but I added one more. So I always recorded 5 guitars, you know, 5 rhythm guitars.
Okay.
Super time consuming, you know.
Yeah.
And especially back at the time. Back in the time, you know, you really had to rehearse. You really had to learn the stuff and play it tight.
Yeah.
Because it was not so easy, you know, to punch in.
Especially with the amp, not with the, let's say.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I pan one full left, one 10 to 12, you know, one 12 o'clock, and same thing on the other side.
So you put the 5th one on the 12 o'clock, let's say.
Exactly.
Okay. So the sound that, let's say, we're hearing in these records, there are 5.
There are 5 guitars. Yeah.
5 guitars.
There are 5 guitars, and it's a little bit of cheating, but you know, the album needs a little bit of punch.
Always, and they really like that. Always, it's going to be like that. What is the tuning that you're using? Let's say.
I tune the whole guitar in E flat.
E flat, okay.
E flat, yes, and then since it's an 8 string, you know, I tune the B down to B flat, and then I double drop the E string.
Double drop the E string.
Yeah, but not on all tunes. Sometimes it's
It's demanding to change
F sharp.
it.
Yeah.
It's more or less it's like Meshuggah tuning as well, I think, because that is also E.
No, I think they don't do a drop tuning, but they have the G string in F sharp.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, that is true.
That's what I think I've read somewhere.
5 tracks. That sounds amazing. I mean, I thought because we have lots of ambient in the. I mean, let's say Jotunheim, the first song.
Yeah.
We have lots of ambient around the main song, let's say, but. I mean, normally, as a guitar player, I know when you go around with these more lines and more lines and more lines, you lose the, let's say, sharpness of the tone.
Yeah,
but it sounds amazing.
Yeah. But the trick is, you know, that there is a method to the madness here. You know, there is a reason why I use these 8 strings. It's not because I am a super virtuoso from another dimension. Yeah. That has nothing to do with it. It's because you get that low end. Okay. And that low end really separates well from all the folk, all the what's the word for the ambience on top.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, so you get that low end, you get the 8 strings and the bass, and I kind of use this as a tool in the songwriting to keep it kind of focused on the riffs, you know, and really low rhythms.
Yeah.
Where the guitar is more of a rhythmical instrument than it is like a regular guitar. You know, there's not so much power chords. There's very little focus on that.
Yeah, yeah.
So the Swedish word is klangbotten, but I don't know what that is in
Klangbotten.
English.
Clone
So
button. Maybe I can dig into it
yeah,
afterwards.
but the
and
thing at the bottom of it all, you know, that
yeah, yeah, yeah.
keeps the whole thing.
Yeah, yeah. But that's cool. I mean, one thing which is cool to me, because I have this kind of old school roots, that it's better to go for the recording at least with the amp, still with the amp. I
Yeah.
mean, and as you said about the tags, I received these tags. Oh, you're kind of old school right now. There is no time to go out with the amps right now. You can go with these multi effects and stuff. They are really good. They are perfect. I mean,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
can be really useful, specifically for the gigs. Any advice for the youngsters musicians these days, that they want to start to learn the guitar, or they want to start to play something?
Yeah, well, I have to think for a little while. You know, advice is always difficult, especially when it's not asked for, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
Because sometimes when you give people advice, they do the opposite.
yeah, yeah.
But I think what's important is to really listen to the music, not look at the tabs and not learn mechanically from guys on YouTube all the time. Because even if you learn all of Yngve's super tricks, you know, you're not gonna be Yngve Malmsteen. There is a lot of sweat and blood behind what he is doing.
Mm.
And I think if you listen carefully, keep an open mind and listen to music all the time, all the kinds of music that you can hear, try to absorb that,
Mm.
and then use your instrument as a tool, you know,
Yeah,
to a tool to project, you know, what you have on the inside. Because there is really, there's no point in playing fast just for the point of playing fast. You know what I mean?
yeah, 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 yeah.
The guitar,
Absolutely.
the guitar is it's an amplification of yourself,
That's a
or
nice
the
meaning.
violin, or the drums, or whatever you're playing. You know, but it's the soul that needs to speak.
That's a good
Yeah,
definition. I mean,
yeah, it's pretty deep and pretty
listen, no, no,
weird,
but
but
listening to the song, because I think that is one part that we are missing these days. I think because of the changes that have happened for the distribution, or the platforms that you are using to listen. I mean, not even the youngsters, but I myself, sometimes I'm listening to the songs like this: first 1 minute,
oh yeah,
and then I
then
click on the
you,
next.
oh yeah,
That is not something good, because I remember there was a time that we had the cassettes, and we tried to that song because we had to be
yeah, of
honest.
course, yeah, yeah.
But there was something in it. There was, I mean, I remember, out of listening too much to some stuff like And Justice for All, to understand the layering of the song.
Of course.
Yeah, okay, oh, okay, drums is doing something else, the guitar is doing this one.
Hmm.
Okay, so this is the combination, and that was happened because of listening too much to it, to be honest. And that's a good tip, I can say.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, a lot of the music we not only popular music. There's a lot of in rock music, in metal music, everything. You know, you have the sonata form from the classical world, where you follow this formula, and that's
Mm.
for a reason.
Yeah, yeah,
That's because it's supposed to keep our attention. You know,
yeah, yeah,
why you have the A, B, A. You know, and when the A returns, it's a little bit modified, and you know all that kind of stuff.
yeah.
But yeah, the thing is with this super scrolling, you know, through the music, you hear 1 minute here and then you switch to the next and the next. What's actually happening is that we are lowering our conscious level.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We do not
That's
have
true.
the ability to focus for more than 30 seconds, you know, and then we switch song. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
what's the result of that? Are we supposed to have 30-minute songs? Maybe we just listen to a bass drum for 30 seconds, I mean,
Hmm.
because that's all we can sort of digest.
Yeah,
I think that's the wrong way to go about it. Personally, I listen very intensely these days to music. I listen to violin concertos from the start to the end.
seriously.
Yes, I do, because yeah, I do a lot of farm work, and I have these Peltor, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
hearing
yeah,
protection things with a
yeah.
Bluetooth, so I can listen to my Apple Music player in those.
That's the best way of doing gardening. I do that as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Listening to some stuff.
Yes, yes, but always in the tractor with a chainsaw, whatever.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
always have these. Yeah, it can be operas or concertos or symphonies or whatever.
Yeah.
But when you listen to the classical music, you get a lot of Um, yeah, it's kind of
Influence and roots.
yeah, sure, and it's also the cheat code how to make something sound really, really good.
Yeah. There are, I mean, in classical music, there are lots of great influences and tones
Oh yeah,
that you can have it. I mean, even for the 80s and 90s, when you listen to the, I mean, ideas like Maiden or those stuff, or I mean Dio, you can hear those kind
yeah,
of
of course you can.
things.
Oh yes,
It's still,
absolutely, 100%. But
yeah,
even in the pop music from the 80s,
yeah. Even ABBA, I think you can
there's
find
a
that.
lot of classical music in ABBA. Also a
Yeah,
lot of folk music.
yeah. That's a thing that is unique after 5, 6 decades still.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, but all in all, for this latest album, I try to, I mean, ask the questions that I thought maybe supposed to be really fascinating. But is there any something else that you think people didn't ask from this album, or we need to talk about this, that you want to mention or point it out, or the message, let's say?
well, there are a lot of messages in this album. The big problem, with doing something that is supposed to be a concept album or whatever.
Uh-huh.
I'm not really that good at doing concept albums because somewhere on the road I kind of start to feel like I have said all there is to be said. You
Hmm.
know, so I had to find a little different angle to look at this and the history of the giants and all this. There is very little information left from the old days about the giants. Very
Okay.
little. Even in the old Viking sagas and that, there is not much you can find.
Okay.
There's these reoccurring themes that you
Hmm.
run into, but apart from that, so I had this idea of having a different view, and I tried to put it into context, like the song about Loki, for example, is more a song about betrayal, and a song about why the betrayer betrays, and
Hmm.
those kind of angles. What else I can say about this? It's a very special album in many ways because it's the most progressive album we have made so far.
Yeah, I had that feeling as well. Compared to the other stuff, I mean, the previous stuff was really groovy,
Oh,
was
yeah.
really amazing. I
Mhm.
mean, tight, let's say. But this one had lots of signs of progressive
Yes,
tones as well.
there's a
Yeah.
little bit more of an esoteric vibe,
Uh huh.
but also there is a reason behind these odd measures, and the polyrhythmical stuff and all that.
Yeah.
Well, one reason, of course, is Meshuggah, but that's not the main reason.
Yeah.
The main reason for it is that music in 3/4 beat, the polskas that you hear in
Okay.
Sweden, that's a very, very, very common type of folk music in Sweden.
Okay.
But that's actually a pretty new thing. Before that, the music was in a 5/4 beat,
Okay.
and that's like a song. The song "The Giants" is in a 5/4 beat.
You mean Jotunheim or
No, there's a song called "The Giants"
the
on
Giants? The
this
Giants.
album.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Giants. Okay. Okay.
You can check it out, and if you can count to 4 and make it work,
Uh huh. Okay. It's
I'll give you $1.
so that one is 5/4. You said.
Yeah,
Or
that's 5/4,
five
and
four.
then you have out of Ginungagap. That one is in a 7/4 beat, and then we have the one called Sigurd, which is even more weird. It's in 13/8 or something like that.
Okay.
And the reason for this is the old music was not symmetrical in the
Uh-huh.
way that we, always
Yeah.
count to 4 and make it
Yeah.
work.
No, it was
It-
different. I mean, from 7/8 to I mean sometimes 6/8. I mean that was.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
different, and
Yeah.
the key thing there was to get the message through. They used
Yeah.
music to remember all these family trees and stories and whatever.
Yeah. Culturally, I mean, it was
Culturally,
different.
yes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I let that play a big part into the songwriting on this one,
Okay.
and it's really, commercially, it's not a smart thing to do at all. But I think that people are kind of ready to open up the conscious level, and absorb different things now.
Yeah. I think this is the difference that right now these days. I mean, I feel this, that people want to hear something different from this AI thing that is coming out,
Yeah.
and maybe that is the reason. I'm listening to all kinds of stuff, but mostly the, let's say, modern metal,
Mhm.
because I want to see what is modern that has to be more or less to be followed, or let's say what are the modern measures that I, as a songwriter, needs to be careful about them to not be obsolete. Let's say, for
Okay.
sure, at the end, I want to put my own stuff, let's say, in it. But when I listen to the stuff, like the things that you did in the latest album or also during the live show, that is something new to me, and that is something fascinating that I want to understand that what are the root cause. That I mean, that is a good thing, and I have this feeling. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm just this is the feeling, but people are started. At least some people are started to move into that direction to try and see that how it can be different compared to things that we have these days. It's sometimes that I'm not talking about the trends that people get fed up or stuff like that, but I mean, like from 80s and 90s, when everything from thrash metal and those stuff moved to new metal, like Korn and those stuff. Compared to thrash metal, the riffs were easier. It was drop tuning. It's easier,
No, yeah,
sort
sure.
of drop tuning on that time. Okay. But it was more groove. It was more simplicity in terms of the writing. But it was a transition that people wanted to have a change. That genre was a bit different, and I think history repeats itself. Right now, it happens again. This let's say repeating stuff. When you listen to the songs, they are all, I mean, have the same tuning. The vocals are the same. I mean,
yeah.
speaking of that, something that I pointed out, we discussed before this. You're not making any specific thing on your vocal. It has a lots of natural thing on your voice. So that is something natural/natural. That's fun.
But that's it. That's one thing that I find a little bit odd when I listen to a lot of these new bands, is that they are all using this technique to distort the voice and sound. What they call it something, I don't remember what. And you can learn that on YouTube.
Like fry ice cream and
that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, cool, but back in the day, I mean, like Kronos or Johnny from Unleashed, they were not using fry ice cream. They were screaming their lungs out because they were pissed off.
Oh yeah.
And that's what I like. I like the nerve. I like the honesty. I like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And technique is great, but technique in itself is meaningless.
Yeah. That is, I can say, mutual agreement between ourselves, because I mean, Max Cavalera, Sepultura.
Yeah.
That has a voice.
Great
in
voice.
Singing.
Yeah.
It's not only shouting, or it's not only screaming like other, let's say, vocalists that we have right now. Those techniques, one thing which is good with them, I think it's good for saving your voice, to not damage your voice.
Oh yeah.
That is the evolving. That is really good by the time. But excluding your example, which I really like, that I think Silas is the vocalist. Josh, that guy also has a sort of
which one?
Silas is. That's a
Silosis. Oh, okay.
Silas,
Yeah. All right.
The vocalist has a sort of color in the voice.
Oh yeah.
When he is screaming.
Yeah, sure. It doesn't take much. It just takes a little bit of timbre,
Exactly.
so that you can tell one from the other.
Yeah.
Because I sometimes have a hard time doing that. And now, I do not hold all the answers. I just have my own preferences,
Yeah.
So I might be completely wrong, of course.
But in that case,
but I can also tell you that techniques for saving the voice, that's probably smart. The first tour I did, I was spitting blood for a week after it.
Seriously?
Yeah. Oh. I thought that this is over now. But, somehow my throat has always survived all the abusing it's taken.
Okay.
But it's... yeah.
So you've been through that kind of experience as well?
Oh yeah.
Like Lane Staley, Alice in Chains, coughing blood out of the show.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Also, after studio sessions with the wrong guy behind, because we were recording in big studios back in the Raubtier days, and we had this guy who said that we're gonna do it all in one takes now. And
in one take?
In one takes, yeah.
Oh my God.
And I was really, really laying it down, but...
all in one take?
Oh,
okay.
yeah, but it was really, really tough, and it didn't turn out great. And it was the same thing. I just went out, spit blood into the snow and then get in and record more, and it just got worse all the time because the voice is a muscle, you know. When the muscle get
And you heard the muscle.
Yeah, exactly.
It takes time to recover. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's not a great way to do things.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've done everything wrong that could be done wrong because there has been no one there to guide us, you know. But I think that also creates a lot of character and gives a lot of timbre and all that stuff.
Yeah, keeping the character. That
exactly.
is crucial. Yeah.
It is.
Maybe that's the thing that, I don't know. I mean, there are lots of stuff like labeling, marketing, the sound, but maybe that is one of the things to me that Gojira is different these days because they have a character, not only in the musicality, in the lyrics, but also in the vocal.
Oh yeah. But I think that the music should reflect who you are.
Yeah.
You know, not necessarily that every lyric you write is telling, you know, you can't tell who somebody really is from reading lyrics on one song. That's not what I'm trying to say. But all in all together, it sounds the way it does because you are who you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the way you live your life kind of reflects into what you do. So that's also a good advice, I think, for a lot of the young guys who want to play. Make sure to actually live life.
Yeah.
Don't live it in front of a screen because that's not living.
Okay.
That's slowly dying.
Slowly dying.
Yeah. You need to get out there, you know, ride the wild horses, you know, and hunt the big moose and catch the big salmon, you know, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Touch the grass. Yeah.
You know. So just so you get that burst out of living, because that will reflect in your music.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I agree on that as well.
Very cool.
I mean, having the experience of the real life, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
I think I'm up more or less with the things that I wanted to know. In case you have anything else you want to add up.
I've said so much already that you know there's nothing left to say.
Okay, but next move from Hulkoff is going to be gigs next year. And are you writing something right now as well?
I'm always writing all the time.
Okay. So you have the albums in the shelf right now that someday.
But I'm writing for so many different things, you know, and I have. Whenever I start playing, you know, something comes up, and what happens with it, I don't know. Sometimes you get something good out of it, and sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
But that's just how it is.
Yeah.
But I'm always writing because I think that's something a songwriter needs to do. He needs to write all the time.
I think you can't stop writing
as
a musician.
No.
That's the mystery of being a musician.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm really, really interested in the craft and the art of songwriting in itself, you know. Because I can't say that I'm a composer. I am not, you know, one of the great.
You compose everything on this album.
Yes,
come on.
sure. I compose in that sense, but it's still in a song content.
Okay.
Content, you know. I'm a songwriter, and I really want to hone that skill, you know.
Okay.
And get better at that craft because it interests me a lot. So I put a lot of time and effort into that, and I try to find the perfect song. And when I do that, it's time to leave this world behind, you know, and die. That's how it is.
Yeah.
Because from till that point, you know, we just got to keep on searching.
Cool. But regarding the writing, not that part that you mentioned at the end, that is good. We are happy, so we will listen. We hear more and more from you soon. Again.
yes, for sure, for sure.
Thank you so much for your time. It was super cool. We're gonna meet again very, very soon.
Yes.
Thanks so much.
Thanks,
you so
brother.
much, brother. Thank you.